So as we learned from the last unit, could can be the past tense of can. So we've already learned that, but in this unit, we will learn another meaning of could. So as we can see here, could is not always past. We can use could for possible actions now or in future. And especially we use it to make suggestions. So in this case, could has the same meaning with can. That is for possible actions in the present or in future. And we use it mainly for giving suggestions. For example, read this dialogue, the whole one.
Okay, what shall we do tonight? We could go to the cinema. When you go to Paris next month, you could stay with Sarah? Yes, I suppose I could.
Yeah, from the first dialogue, you can see they are saying that we could go to the cinema. It is possible for us that we could go to the cinema now or in future. This has no past meaning. In this case, could has only present or future meaning to imply that we can do this action. It is possible for us to do this action. And oftentimes it is used to make suggestions. And here too, we can see suggestion because the B is suggesting to go to the cinema. And even the second dialogue, we can see suggestion because A is saying that the B could stay with Sarah. It is possible for B to stay with Sarah, and it is also the suggestion of A. So from that we can draw conclusion that could can be used in present simple to say that some actions are possible to do now or in future, and especially for making suggestions. In this case, it's very similar with can. But one thing is that could is less certain than can. If you use could, that means it is not that likely to happen. It is not that sure, you are not sure that it will happen. So could is less sure than can. And the second use of could, not in past simple, but in present simple, is that to say actions that are not realistic. They are in our mind, they are in our imagination. For example, read the first one.
I am so tired. I could sleep for a week.
Yes, he is saying that he's so much tired that he could sleep for a week, but nobody can sleep for a big week. It is not realistic. It is just imaginary. He's saying this just to imply that he is devastatingly tired. He is very, very tired. So from that, we can see that could can be used to say the actions that are imaginary, that are not realistic. So in this case, now we will compare can and could. Read this.
I can stay with Sarah when I go to Paris. Realistic. And maybe I could stay with Sarah when I go to Paris. Possible.
But less sure. So
Less sure.
can is more realistic than could. If I say I can stay with Sarah when I go to Paris, it is very, very possible. I can actually go to the house of Sarah. I have good relationship with her, so she will very likely welcome me to her house. But if I'm using the could, I mean, it is not that certain. Maybe Sarah will welcome me. Maybe there will be some problems at his house. I'm just saying one option. It is not very certain. It's just one possibility. And the third sentence, please.
Okay, maybe I.
This is.
This is a wonderful place. I could stay here forever. Unrealistic.
Yes, this is unrealistic type of could in present simple. So it is never realistic to say that somebody can stay somewhere forever because no one lives forever, and it is very, very realistic to say this sentence, but he's just saying in a poetic way. in a metaphorical way to express his love for this place. So it is not realistic. It is just metaphorical way of expressing emotions. So, and in A and B, we considered two usage of could. What was the first one?
First one, future and now, present meaning.
No, I'm not asking you about in which tenses. I'm asking the usage. When should we use it?
Usage, we use could, possible actions, especially to make suggestions. Possible actions, how can I say?
Yes, it is possible that it will happen. For example, if I
Yes,
say we could go to the theater, I'm implying that it is possible for us. It is not impossible. It is one
yes.
option. It is one option for us to go there. And the second usage,
Second usage, we also use not realistic. For example, this is a wonderful place. I could stay here forever. It's unrealistic, uh, because one person couldn't stay only one place.
yeah, okay. But in the first case, in a case of using could for possible actions now and in future, it is less what? Less certain.
Less certain.
Yes, less sure, less certain.
Less sure.
For example, if you say 70% or 80% precision certainty with can, we can say 50% or 60% certainty with could. So it is just one example. So could is less sure than can.
Then can.
Okay, let's look at the C1. C1 is repeating the same thing again. I don't like this book in this occasion because sometimes the book is quite repetitive. The book clearly explained something in previous unit or in other paragraphs, but then again, the book continues repeating these things. And it is doing here the same thing. The book is saying that we also use could to say that something is possible now or in the future. For example, the story could be true, but I don't think it is. Now or in the future, it can be true. In this case, we cannot use can because cannot be used in this case to say that something is possible now or in the future. But we've learned this in this is a similar thing, but not the same thing in a paragraph. Read the second
Yeah.
sentence.
I don't know what time Lisa is coming. She could get here at any time.
Yes. So she could get here at any time. We do not use she can get here at any time. We are just saying the one possibility. It is not option. It is just saying that something might happen. It is like may or might in this case. So in this case, instead of could, we cannot use can. So read both sentences, please.
The weather can change very quickly in the mountains in general. The weather is nice now, but it could change later. The weather now not in general.
Okay. So in the first sentence, we are using can to express possibility in general. It could happen in the past, it can happen now, it can happen in future. It is general and it is general knowledge. But in the second sentence, we are implying the possibility now. It could change later. It is specific occasion. If we want to express possibility now or in future in specific occasion, then we need to use could, not can. It is different. It is different from this could because here we are making mainly suggestions. We are saying that we have this option. Bizde şunaqa variant var. We are saying like this in A, but in C we are saying that one thing could happen, and one occasion. It is like may. So we learned three present simple usage of could. The first one was to talk about possible actions and to make suggestion. And the second one was to talk about unrealistic things. The third one was about to talk possible things in specific in one occasion, now or in future. So how can we make the past of could in these cases? So the past tense will be could have plus verb 3. For example, in this sentence, they are saying that we could go to the cinema now. If you want to make it past, it would be we could have gone to the cinema yesterday. So read this.
Okay. I'm so tired, I could sleep for a week. I was so tired, I could have slept for a week.
Okay. The first one is present simple. The second one is past simple of could. So these are both related to unrealistic usage of could. If you got from the sentences, read this.
The situation is bad, but it could be worse. The situation was bad, but it could have been worse.
Yes, and the first one is about present, and the second one is about past tense. But it is about the possibility of or in specific situation, as we learned in paragraph C. In specific occasion, if something is possible to happen, then we should use could, not can. So this is related to that thing. One thing to remember, if we use the past tense of could, that means that it was possible to happen, but it didn't happen. For example, if you say, we could have gone to the cinema, that means that it was possible for us to go to the cinema, but we didn't go to the cinema. Similarly, if you say, why did you stay at a hotel? You could have stayed with me. That means it was possible for you to stay with me, but you didn't. You stay at a hotel, not at my house. And read the second one.
David was lucky. He could have hurt himself when he fell, but he's all right.
Yes, David was lucky because he didn't hurt himself. It didn't happen, but it was possible, but it didn't happen. So we are using could have done. Could have done means something was possible to happen, but it didn't. Understandable?
Understand.
Okay, let's look at the E paragraph. I couldn't do something. It means it would not be possible. It is not possible to do it. And if I try it, it will be impossible. Read this.
I couldn't live in a big city. I'd hate it.
Yes. Second.
Everything is fine right now. Things couldn't be better.
Yes, in this first sentence, we are seeing that it is not possible for him to live in a big city. It would be impossible. So he is using I couldn't live. And the second sentence as well, things couldn't be better than the current situation. Okay, the past is also couldn't have here. That means would not have been possible. For example, we had a really good holiday. It couldn't have been better. In the past, we had a good holiday, very great holiday, and it couldn't have been better than that holiday. Undan yaxshiroq bo'lishi mumkin emas edi. And another usage of couldn't do, it means that it would not be possible, even if we tried very hard. And the past tense of this one is similar to the previous ones we learned, just couldn't have. And here we are seeing the I couldn't do has two meanings. The first one is about the present meaning. The meaning is that we learned today. If I say, for example, I couldn't, that means it would not be possible now. There is no such possibility. For example, read this one.
I couldn't run 10 kilometers now. I'm not fit enough.
Yes, it means it is unrealistic. I don't run 10 kilometers now. I'm just imagining. There is no such possibility to do it. And read the second one.
I couldn't run yesterday because I hurt my leg.
Yeah, this is about the could that we learned in the last unit. It is just the past simple of can. So here it is implying general ability. But the first sentence, we are seeing the present could, present simple could. It is about the things that we learned in this unit. So is everything understandable about could and could have?
Yeah. Yes, understand.
It is not. It is a bit difficult theme. I would recommend you to reread it, to revise it, to read this explanation page again.
Okay.
So, in short, in this unit, we learned that we can use could the first for possible actions now or in the future, especially to make suggestions. For example, we could go to the cinema. It is a suggestion and it is an option. That means it is possible to do. And the second usage is that we can use it for the actions that are not realistic, that are imaginary. For example, I could sleep for a week. And the third usage of could is that something is possible now or in the future in one occasion, not in general. And it cannot be replaced by can in this case. But in the first case, we can use can as well instead of could to make suggestions. But in the C1, we cannot replace could with can. And we also learned about present simple of could, past simple of could. In these cases, it is could have plus verb 3. It is not present perfect. It is past simple of could. It may be a bit confusing because could can be both in past and in present. So we learned these things.
Yes.